I could talk to this guy all day. 15 minutes isn't going to do us justice at all. Randy, I'm sorry. We just started the show right when you called, so I was rusty. I was stuttering. So now we're kind of into it, but you're going to go in a couple minutes. But definitely.
Well, I can talk for about another 7 or 8 minutes.
Okay, so in all honesty, you've had an extraordinary career, and I honestly, when I explain you, when I describe you to people when you're going to do my show, I literally say you're one of the more or most famous cops in the country. Now I know you're going to be humble.
I'm pretty well known.
Yeah, you're well known. So what I love about what you did is that you took your fame and now you're using that voice. I love that. Now you're supporting the.
My career ended because I had a stroke in my police car.
Did you really?
And that's what ended my career. It was the most frightening moment of my life when I was on patrol as the Metro Watch Commander, and 2:30 in the morning, right in front of Bally's Hotel, I suffered a stroke in my police car.
Oh my God!
And luckily, I had a young patrolman with me, because when I was the watch commander, I would take a patrol officer with me so that he could see that his boss actually every now and then did some police work. And so I had this young man with me. He's never ridden with me before. And we were coming from a pretty funny death call. I'll tell you about that some other time. And I felt the stroke coming on.
Did you really?
And I turned to this kid and I said, "Hey, you got to get me medical. I'm having a stroke." And I stopped the police car. And this poor kid,
amazing.
He looked at me and he thought the lieutenant's screwing with me.
No way.
And realized, no, he's not screwing with me.
How did you know? So you remember it? How did you know you were having a stroke?
Oh yeah, I actually felt my brain slowing down.
Wow. That's like in football, I got concussion.
Within just a few seconds, it got worse, and I stopped the car. I started walking around to the passenger side in case he needed to get me to the hospital, and then I collapsed, unable to move, talk, communicate, and but I got to tell you that my last memory as being an on-duty police officer, I was laying there, unable to talk or move. The other officer had called for an officer needs help, and I'm being ringed by my police officers who are guarding me, basically from the pedestrians who are taking their pictures of me with their cell phones.
Jesus. Of
this uniformed cop laying on the pavement. And my last memory is one of my cops saying, "If you don't get that camera out of his face, I'm going to take it off you and stick it up your ass." I remember thinking, that's the Metro I know and love.
Nice. Now you fully recovered, and obviously that was a major adversity in your life. Now, what happened because of that? Did you realize, all right, look, I want to retire now. I don't want to do this anymore?
Well, I could have taken a desk job, but I've been a street cop my entire life,
mm-hmm.
and I had the time in, so I took my retirement. And I've always been mission-oriented, of course, since I was 19 years old when I was the youngest cop in the state of New Jersey.
Oh, wow.
So it was a time in my life when I really had to reevaluate things and realized, well, I should mention that the doctors told me I was going to die. I fooled them.
Wow.
But during that time period, I was really evaluating what my life was. And I realized that my legacy was the most important thing to me. And that legacy is about supporting the men and women of law enforcement who have been facing nothing but challenges, and also to highlight people whose lives have really touched the lives of others in very positive ways. So I created my fourth book, which was The Power of Legacy, Personal Heroes of America's Most Inspiring People.
It's amazing. So you have 4 books out. And
Correct.
When did you start taking to social media, to TV? Now, I see that you've been on Fox News a couple times. And
I've been on Fox and Friends probably 7 or 8 times.
wow.
They use me for law enforcement commentating, and I'm also a commentator for 3 or 4 other news outlets,
I noticed.
as well as I'm a writer and journalist for all of the major law enforcement periodicals.
Randy, I noticed that you also did that show. You ever see the video on Facebook? That girl, she gets like 1 million views or millions of views. The one who speaks right to the president, that hot blonde.
Yes, I was on her show.
Yeah, she's hot. You were on a couple times, weren't
Oh,
you?
yeah, I was.
Whew.
And she is hot.
You ever seen her?
Yeah, on
Albie, have you seen her?
I can't.
Her name is
Not on Facebook.
Tommy Lamron.
Wow, yeah.
No, I haven't seen her.
She blew up
She's
after that
now
video.
on the Blaze.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
But Beck stuff. Glenn Beck's thing.
What's that?
Glenn Beck's thing. Yeah.
Glenn Beck, he said. You know, is that what it is? The Blaze, Glenn Beck?
That's what she's on now. She was on One American News Network.
Yeah, that's it. That's where I saw her. Oh man, she was great. She used to drive me nuts.
I sat at Greg Gutfeld's table. He's actually a really cool guy over there. At Fox.
Yeah, I'd like to meet him. He is a cool guy.
Yeah, he was really cool. I met him, and I was sitting with Robert Davi, and